And welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and this is part 41. We last left entering the 5 silver rupee piece room, so this is more or less part 2 of the Spirit Temple, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to suggest, there's this room that we're in. There's about, and I did have a chance to explore ahead on the temple. So it was a smart move on my part. You're going to want to place a bomb right up here with this little BMOS, I guess they call it. Yeah, I don't know all the names of these things, but I've gotten a little bit better. I would recommend just going there to get your first rupee. There's 5, so yeah, there's 5 silver rupees. For now, just try to avoid getting shot by the BMOs. Do some rolling if you have to. It's a very tricky little thing here. Climb up on the blocks if you can. That'll be a good support. And you can get your second one, or your second rupee rather, right over here. The second one, the best way to do the next one here, which is this one here, I would recommend just jumping right over the, just jumping over the ledge here to grab it, like so. And the next one is right over here. And then if you go directly to the opposite of this wall, you'll find the other one is right over here. So all that's going to do is light some candles, and that's about it. But wait, there's more. So the next part of this obstacle is going to involve lighting some candles. So this is probably the one time, probably for the rest of the game, that you actually can use the Deku sticks. And there's 4 of them you want to light up. But first, you want to just give yourself some fire with the stick here. Work your way around. Find the other. Torches. Okay, so there's one that we missed. I'm all about doing things sequentially, really. So this time let's do this the right way. We'll start over here. 1, 2. Where are you? Where are you? 1, 2. Oh, almost. Oh. Takes a couple tries, folks, so just gotta be patient. But what I can say is you have to run quickly. Run very quickly indeed, without getting hit by the BMOS. I also forgot to mention about this room that it is okay to get rid of this guy, because it's just a little bit more of a convenience not to have the BMOS there if you can, at least for that one. So while I'm trying to get through this room, let's see if there's anything I can comment about this room. I can honestly say that when I first tried this room, it was like many rooms. It was hugely difficult, and it took me about an hour roughly to get through it. I don't like remember. I don't remember completely how long it took, but nonetheless, I was really fascinated with it. So for sure, that was terrific. So I hear as of today that they've just actually knocked the Wii from like $199 to $149. I guess it has like something to do with the fact there's going to be a new Wii coming out next year. I think it's called like Wii HD or Wii 2. Kind of like R2-D2, I guess, in a way. I don't know. But it makes sense because it's obviously available cheaper. It's certainly not going to be expensive. At least not anymore. I don't know. Maybe some people can afford it and other people can. Now let's talk a little bit about the concept of holding a flaming torch. I'll say right off the bat that I think it's pretty hard to imagine in real life anyone really doing a torch relay. I think. However, those of you that are big with the Winter Olympics, like I used to be, I say you could say that's an operative word there. But one of the events that sort of leads up to the events is something called a torch relay. And basically, I think lots of athletes pretty much run with it, like a good stretch of like whatever the layout is for, or whatever. And they pass it along to like one person after another. And then usually but just before it lights up, it kind of like somebody will get it, and then it will like eventually like go to the big torch, and wherever like the venue is going to be, whatever. And I guess a lot of people just tend to think of it as sort of like a real big event. And I guess it would make sense because like everyone's training for it, so why wouldn't you? So personally, if I ever was asked to be in a torch relay, I'd have to like imagine my hands or something getting like wicked hot. So it's like you'd have to have like some sort of I don't know, some sort of a fireproof glove or whatever, if those kind of things exist. It just kind of goes to show what I know about that department. Nerds are us. So there's a lot to do. Sorry if it doesn't look like I'm saying much. Just because I'm concentrating to get through like as much of this as I can. It's kind of funny, like how it goes from being like it goes from being like easy your first time to like being incredibly hard like the second time around. But nonetheless, as you can see, once you finally do get the things lit up, they stay lit, and a treasure chest will certainly appear. So let's see if we can find the treasure chest now without too much hoopla. And just kind of get it out of the... Oh, wait a minute. It's not going to be on the door. I should... I'm no expert at this game, really. At all. But it's worth the screw-ups just to kind of explore stuff. Alright, well, anyway, the treasure chest, if you've, like, really been paying attention and not, like, wanting to criticize me through, like, how much hard times I went through this, you'll get your first key right there. But we're not through. The last and final part of this room involves the blocks themselves. And this little light here. Rightly so, it should be kind of a suspicious thing why this would have like sort of a sunlight in it. Well, here's how you take care of that problem. You see this little block here that's got like the little shiny statue of a sun? Well, it's not really a statue. It's just meant to be a statue for now. But something happens if a certain direction gets geographically initiated. What you want to do is grab that block, pull it right into the light. Yes, who does not want to be in the light according to the Christian faith? And then just keep on doing it until it gets into the sunlight, and something pretty cool will happen. It will give a smiley face, and a door will open. You can be glad that this room is over, but this castle is far from over. You want to basically head through this corridor here, open up the key, and it'll take you into your first mini battle with none other than yours truly, the Iron Knuckle. So let's talk a little bit about the Iron Knuckle here. From Zelda 1, from Zelda 2, he was from Zelda 1 he was originally known as Iron Knack. And then in Zelda 2 he was basically known as Iron Knuckle. And I guess you could say by popular demand, he's sort of like returning as a mini-boss here in this final temple. But let's talk a little bit on how to kill him. You can see how he's really jackknifing me with his hammer there, and how it's like really like dumping me back a lot. Well, if I wasn't using like cheat codes, I would probably lose about 3 or 4 hearts alone from getting hit so much. But you basically want to avoid the hammers, the swigs that he makes, and then sneak behind his back and give him a few hits with the Bigaron sword. And once you've hit him enough, eventually his mask will fall off, and then he'll kind of double his attack a little bit. So if you're able to follow that situation, then you'll pretty much Oh, I'm sorry. I said bigger one sword. Young Link. I'm sorry. Young Link can't really use the bigger one sword. He can only use like the sword that he has. So naturally, it's going to take a little bit longer to kill it. But as you can see, his mask did come off. And once we get the mask off, it's just a few more swigs, and then you can move on from here. I think I must have like avoided like N64 games for a long, long time because I think I just thought by default of it being like N64 or whatever, it would be like a lot more tougher. Well, anyway, that concludes the first mini boss. Yes, we'll be seeing him again, folks. So he's not gone. But for now, you can just go through the store here, make your way into the outside world. What? Outside world? That's right, outside world. And guess who shows up after all this time? Your friend and mine, the owl.
Hey, what's up, Octavia? Surprised to see me? A long time in this world is almost nothing to you, is it?
How mysterious. So he learns that you've traveled back in time, basically.
Even I thought that the tales of a boy who could travel back and forth through time was merely a legend. Octavia, you have fully mastered as an adult. From now on, the future of all the people in Hyrule is on your shoulders. Maybe it's not my time anymore, but here's my last advice. 2 witches inhabit this temple. In order to destroy them, turn their own magic powers against them. Hoot, hoot.
He's referring to the final boss of the temple, which I don't think we're going to cover. We're going to get to do at the end of the. We're going to be able to do for this segment, but we'll talk about that when we get to that. For now, you'll just take note off to the right is the treasure chest. Is the treasure chest that we were looking for, which holds the gauntlet. Sorry, I was drinking, guys. Yeah, that must have been like so annoying to hear that. So, you finally do find it, and it does help. It does move bigger blocks, but we made a promise to go back to Naburu, so respectively so. Wait, now what was that scream, you might ask? Well, let's put a little drama into this. Hey, where are you taking me? Let me go! So right away we find out. Right away, Naburu actually is under cast of the witches here, and says, "You fiends, Ganondorf's minions!" So as you can see, she's giving her last words here. Octavia, get out of here now! These witches, they're using black magic on me! It always kind of is frightful whenever a movie like has a girl or something just like suddenly disappears. Like, for example, if you see like the Mario Brothers movie, there's this one scene where the girl Daisy like gets trapped and tries to escape out of a time warp, or like a warp into like another world, but she never like gets rescued, and then finally when they do rescue her, she decides to stay. I don't know why, but it's annoying to see things like that, because it's like maybe I'm more of a fairy tale happy ending kind of guy, which is kind of sad, but you know, what's wrong with it? Well, so now you've got a pretty good clue as to what we've got to do next. Since we know that we can't use the gauntlet right now, go ahead and play the Temple of Time. And we will be from this point going back to the Darker Ages. So just head back here, go ahead and pick up that Master Sword for the umpteenth time. Da, 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 Kuczynski. Kuczynski. Kuczynski, my lad. And then go ahead and open up. And once you travel back as Adult Link, go ahead and play the Requiem of Spirit. And from here, we're just going to go right straight back into the castle. And if you remember from my last video, we met up with two talking chairs. One off to the left said that you had to come back as a young boy, and the one to the right said you had to come back with a piece of silver from the past. So let's just recap what the hieroglyphics read here. If you want to travel to the future, you should return here with the power of silver from the past. So that's the gauntlet. And since Naboo is captured, it's the natural instinct is to go ahead and try to rescue her. So now instead of going to the left like we did in the last video, we're going to go to the right, where we can finally now move this block. And so just push it until it can go no further. And right away, you'll be encountered by a Beamos. You don't have to worry about fighting that, so just to completely ignore it and use the hook shot to aim for the switch right up above him. It'll go ahead and open up the doors. So this may be like the only one room in the entire dungeon you won't have to deal with any enemies or temple or whatever you want to call it. This room here is really not really related at all. It's not really a part of the run through. But it is where we can get the compass. So if you really want to do that, just go ahead in this room, step on the Triforce symbol, and play the lullaby. And all it'll do is it'll just make a treasure chest appear. And it's going to appear like on the opposite side of you. And if you've seen this run through enough times, you know by now that all you have to do is hook shot right across to get it, and you should be all set. Whoops. And there you go. So there's really not much more you can do here. There is a wolf stone on the bottom that you can earn some rupees for, but we're just going to go ahead and move on from there. Another thing that's helpful is you can actually hook shot to the walls over here, and it'll just put you right on the wall there, and that'll be good. So once you've got that, and if you really want to, and you need it, you can go ahead and get that. If there's time, I'll show you briefly how to get the map, but I think with this run through, I don't think you'll need it that much. So over here we've got another room full of candy. The wonderful realm of candy, silver candy, rupee candy, rock candy, big rock candy mountain. So a couple of them will be pretty easy. They're only over in the windows there. there is one that's going to be kind of a bit of a challenge, but it'll only because you might wonder how you can jump. Well, if you know by now, you really can't. But what you can do is use the hook shot. And if you just aim it right through to the wall, and you don't get hit by the rocks, you can just go ahead and hook shot yourself right across, and you can get the silver rupee on the way over. So let's try that. Let me show you what I mean. Oops. I can't remember, but if there's like a way for these rocks to like stop like rolling around, go ahead and comment me and let me know, because I just can't remember. It was so much easier when I wasn't recording this earlier. Now it's like I'm behind the headset and I'm like excited to want to get through this, but like at the same time, it's, you have to like, I don't know. I guess you have to kind of delegate the time, the energy, stuff. Let's try this again now. Okay, a little too far. Really bad. There we go. So once we got that all straightened out, it'll open up the door that we want to head to, so just go right ahead and head in there. I said head on in there, Link. Don't be a coward. And this pretty much all it does is take you right to a room with the key, with the next key. Be very careful, as I wasn't, not to get sucked in by, yes, a random like does appear right next to you there. If you have the bigger one sword though, it'll be no trouble just to get it in one swoop. And you can always get your shield right back from him if it should come to that. So collect your key, and then you can head back the way you came. So now that you've got that, we're going to go ahead and backtrack a little bit. Not terribly much, but you might have wondered back in this room here why we couldn't get into the locked door that was, oops, sorry, this is BMOS. Sorry, I'm like thinking the wrong area, never mind. Anyway, it'll pretty much bring you back to the BMOS room where we first came from the front of the castle. Go ahead and just go in here. And from here, there'll be another like, and then some really spooky looking flying pots. They are not real pots, they are enemy pots. So above all, do not mislead them to think that they will give you something interesting, because they won't. So from here, just go ahead and climb the ladder. And then from this point, we'll be dealing with a rather strange looking room here. It's there's not going to be a whole lot we can do right now, but it is going to prove. Oh wait, no, we can't. I'm sorry. There's this little dragon-looking mirror here. We'll call it a mirror light, I guess. Before we go too far, though, I want to point out there are some hidden wall masters. If you don't use the lens of truth, you won't be able to see them, but they are there, so you might want to check that out. But once that's all cleared, you want to go ahead and pull the lever to this little guy here, and go like 1, 2, 3 sunshines over. There'll be some treasure chest that comes out of the wrong ones, but really what you want to do is aim for this guy right over here. The sun will smile up and the door will open, and that's pretty much where you want to go. And if you just take a look now, we are actually in it's actually a very familiar area over here. If you look carefully, there is there's that statue that I was telling you about earlier. There is the other side of the stairway that led us to the statue, which we used to open the door on the other side to move over further as young Link. So we'll be in this quite a bit. So the first thing you're going to want to do from this point is to go ahead and equip the hover boots, because if you don't, it's going to be messy. And you want to land into that hand over there. It's got the Triforce symbol over it. So go right ahead there and just cross your way over, land right into the hand, and then go ahead and break out that trusty Ocarina of Time, and then play the lullaby again. And then immediately a treasure chest will appear on her other hand. So what you want to do now is head on back to this area here. I recommend hook-shotting to it, because I don't recommend levitating, but I'm just doing it to save some time. But I'll show you in a minute anyway. So if you don't remember your song for Pierre, it's going to be a little bit trickier, but to get to the key. Luckily, though, I did find sort of a trick to get to it. But if you just aim just right from this balcony over here, and aim your hook shot towards the hand, you won't see it very well, but there actually is a treasure chest not too far off. So if you go ahead and hook shot right to it, and you have you can see it sort of over there. It will allow you to get over there to that treasure chest. So just like that. So then go ahead and get the treasure chest. And then that gives you another key that you're going to need momentarily. So now let me show you the real way to get back up. Alright, well before I do that, let me, just for kicks, show you where the map is. If you really are that desperate for it, there's the dungeon map, I can't get through this. Well, you shouldn't be playing this if you don't know where it is. Well, no, I'm kidding. That was kind of harsh. Go ahead and use your Din's Fire, and it'll light up these 2 candles here, and the map is right inside there, basically. So just go ahead and get it. You'll have it. Go ahead and get it, and you'll have it. Alright, so to get back on track, what you want to do is, you'll find a little hook shot thingy right about, it's gonna be about right here, actually. Okay, maybe not. My bad, folks. It's the other side we're dealing with here. So go ahead and just hooker shot right up there. Go ahead and head up the stairs. And then you'll notice previously there was a sort of a switch on the other side of on the other side of this that we didn't really have much easy access to. You do now with the hook, because of that little treasure chest appearing there. Go ahead and hook shot to it. It's going to give you nothing more than a rupee. Or rupees, whichever you prefer. Go ahead and hit this switch here. You'll need the Megatron hammer. And it should do something. Yep, it does open up a door. What door, might you ask? Well, that actually is going to serve as quite of a useful tool for later on. So, what you'll want to do is go right ahead and go into that door. This will just save you a lot of time. I can promise you that. Go ahead and just grab this block here and sort of move it out of the way. Keep pushing it as to you know how far or how long it'll go. It'll drop down. You'll see another one. Go ahead and push that one. And you'll find right over here, it leads us to an interesting little elevator. So, go ahead and just hit the switch with the Megatron hammer, and it'll be activated. So that'll be available for use later on. If you want to see where it goes, you can do so. Takes you right back to the well. What do you know? It took us right back to the beginning. Well, great. But not necessary but I guess we really didn't need to do that, but it probably will later on. But I doubt we'll need it for anything, but if you get stranded and you really need to get back, you always can, so. But alright, so anyway, we're gonna do that one more time with the hook shot like we did before. Getting back up to those strange, ugly looking, but ruthless to say tasty looking. No, not really. Someone would randomly say what I would not give for a Klondike bar. I don't know. We are definitely not going to be getting through this temple as I thought we would, but so that is alright. These things are meant to happen, so there we go. Don't worry, like you guys, I only played this I opened up this game for the very first time a year ago. So it's not like I should be like a perfect player at this by any means. But this is where you want to go after all that. And this room here is nothing more than a corridor. So just go through that. It'll take us to this room here. And it's going to and this is the room that I was kind of trying to figure out that I thought we were in before, but these guys here are no easy cakewalk at all. So the easiest way to get rid of them is just simply use the fire arrow. It is one of the ways to do it. And quite frankly, the easier one, a very easy one to do. So, and you have to be very sneaky about finding where they go. One by one, they just sort of appear. Alternatively, if you wanted to, you could use the switch to activate a fire, and if you lure them right into the fire, it kills them that way. But I would just stick to easy and go with the the fire arrow. Okay, maybe we do have to get the BMOS out of there. I'm just tripping it bad. Yeah, I'll be tripping. I'll be tripping. Yeah. That's what I thought it was. Alright, so once that's done, you can head over into this door over here. And it's going to bring us into another room with a sunshine beam and some enemies. I'm going to just spare you a lot of the trouble that I went through on this before. But the only way we can get through, the first way we have to get through this is, believe it or not, is by having some assistance from one of our fellow comrade enemies, or nemesises, or minor nemesis. And they need to step on that blue switch right over there. So I would just go ahead and hookshot this guy over here, and as soon as he hits, he's going to open up the door. Just go and run like the wind, because once he gets off the switch, it won't be much help to you after that. So finally we get into this little corridor over here, and another mini boss room, and then another iron knuckle. And you think he's going to be easier? Definitely not. He's stronger, yes, but all you have to do with this one is just hit him a few times, and that's it. He won't take his okay, well, okay, maybe he does take his mask off, but he's pretty easy and he's pretty weak. So that's all you've got to do with that. And once that's done, you just go ahead and go through the door here. And you'll just follow this pathway out to the outside here, and quite similar to as when we got the gauntlet, there is a second treasure chest. Yes, most Legend of Zelda games will have 2 treasure chests at the very final temple. So go ahead and claim your reward. The mirror shield. This will be very vital to getting through the rest of the temple. It's going to be exciting and it's going to be great. So from here, we're going to just leave it right at that, because we have really hit the time limit on this. So next time we will be finishing up the temple. We will be we may have some time to do actually one of the side quests that I was going to do after the game was finished. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know. But in the meantime, I hope this has been helpful for you somewhat. But if not, then watch another video. But for now, we will see you next time.